Somebody else drove your Volkswagen once, a friend, a cousin, whoever it was, and in about 4 minutes behind the wheel, they did something with your car that you had never done in 4 years of owning it, and you sat there in your own passenger seat thinking, wait, it does that? Here's the uncomfortable part. That wasn't luck. They pressed a button you have been staring at every single day and never once touched. Because Volkswagen has a habit that quietly drives owners crazy, they put the genuinely useful stuff one layer down. Not broken, not locked, not some upgrade you have to go back to the dealer and pay for. Just quiet, sitting in a submenu, behind a long press, buried in a stalk you assumed only did one thing. You already own every bit of it. You paid for it the day you signed the paperwork. Nobody ever bothered to tell you it was in there. So that's what today is. 13 features already sitting inside your Volkswagen right now. Things that make it quieter, safer, cheaper to run, and a whole lot less annoying to live with every day. Some of them take 5 seconds to switch on, and a few of them are going to genuinely annoy you because you'll realize you've been driving around without them this entire time. Grab your keys. Let's get into it. Feature number 13, the 30 seconds that empty the heat out of your car. You walk out to a car that's been baking all afternoon. You know what's waiting. The wall of hot air, the steering wheel you can't hold, the seat that burns through your shirt. So you get in anyway and suffer while the air conditioning slowly catches up. Do it the other way instead. Stop about 30 seconds out, press unlock, and keep holding it. Every window starts rolling down. Sunroof too, if you have one. All of it at once from across the car park while you're still walking. Volkswagen calls it comfort opening. By the time you reach the door, the trapped heat has already left, and your air conditioning is starting from a completely different place. It works in reverse as well, which is the part nobody uses. Walk away, hold the lock button, and every window and the sunroof close themselves. No more standing in the rain, wondering if you left one cracked. One habit to keep: only use the open side when you're walking toward the car, not when you're leaving it. Feature number 12, the mirror that looks down for you. Almost every owner has done it, reversing into a tight space, guessing where the curb is, hearing that scrape you feel in your teeth, then paying a specialist to make the wheel look normal again. Your Volkswagen has the fix built in. Turn the little mirror selector dial to the passenger side and leave it there. Now, put the car in reverse, and while you're in reverse, tilt that passenger mirror down until you can clearly see your rear wheel and the ground beside it. That's it. The car just memorized it. From now on, every time you select reverse, that mirror drops itself to show you exactly where the curb is, and lifts straight back to normal when you shift out. You don't touch a thing. The catch is that dial. Leave it turned to the driver's side or in the middle, and nothing happens. So owners assume the feature isn't there. It is. It just needs the dial pointed at the mirror it's meant to move. Feature number 11, the key hidden inside your key. You're in a car park in the rain, and your key does nothing. Dead battery, and every logical part of your brain says the same thing. There's no keyhole on this car. There is. 2 hidden things, actually. Start with the fob. There's a small release on it, a slider or a tab depending on your year. Push it, and a full metal blade slides straight out of the plastic. It's been living inside your key since the factory. Now the door. Look at the outer end of the driver's door handle. There's a plastic cap sitting flush. So neat you've never registered it. It pops off, usually by hooking the blade behind it. Your keyhole is underneath. Cap goes back on and the handle looks untouched. And the car still won't start with a dead fob. So hold the key body physically against the start button and press. It reads the chip by proximity instead of radio. Engine fires, no tow truck, no locksmith. Try it once in your driveway so your hands already know it in the dark. Feature number 10, the wiper that knows you're reversing. Rain, bad light, and you're backing out of a space. You look through the rear glass and it's a smeared gray mess, so you're fumbling for the rear wiper stalk with one hand while steering with the other. Your Volkswagen can handle that part itself. Turn on your front wipers, then shift into reverse. If the setting is enabled, the rear wiper wakes up on its own and clears the glass the moment reverse is selected. Shift out, it stops. You never touch a stalk, never take a hand off the wheel. It lives in the vehicle settings under the wiper menu, usually one line, rear wiper in reverse gear. Some cars come with it on from the factory, plenty come with it off, and almost nobody scrolls far enough to find out which one they've got. One thing catches people out: the front wipers have to be running for it to trigger. That's the car's proof it's actually wet outside. Test it dry in your driveway and you'll swear it doesn't work. Feature number 9, the warning that fires before the road looks frozen. Everyone knows knows their car shows an outside temperature. Almost nobody knows it's watching for one specific number. Near freezing, your Volkswagen changes behavior. A snowflake or ice symbol appears in the cluster, usually with a chime, sometimes switching the display over so you can't miss it. That isn't about your comfort. It's the car telling you the surface you're driving on may be forming ice, especially on bridges, overpasses, and shaded stretches that freeze long before the rest of the road, and it triggers slightly above actual freezing on purpose. The sensor sits in moving air, and tarmac can already be colder than the air above it. So by the time you see that symbol, black ice is genuinely possible on a road that looks completely dry. One more thing worth doing. In the vehicle settings, you can change what the cluster shows by default. Bring outside temperature onto your main view instead of leaving it buried, and you get a running read on conditions rather than a symbol you notice too late. Feature number 8, the one-touch indicator nobody taught you to use. Watch how most people change lanes. They push the stalk all the way to the click, move over, and then have to cancel it themselves because the steering never turned far enough for the car to switch it off. So it keeps blinking, sometimes for a mile, with everyone behind them guessing what they're about to do. Your Volkswagen has a better way built into that same stalk. Don't push it to the click, just tap it. A light touch, no resistance, straight back to center. The car blinks 3 times cleanly and stops. Signal, move, done, nothing left running behind you. And 3 blinks isn't fixed. In the vehicle settings under the lighting menu, there's a comfort indicator or lane change option, and you can raise it. Plenty of owners go to 5, because on a fast road, 3 can be too quick for someone in your blind spot to register. Set it to match how you actually drive, and you stop signaling too briefly to be seen. Feature number 7, the boot that opens without your hands. Shopping in both arms, rain coming down, and you're doing that awkward dance at the back of the car, trying to get one finger onto the release without dropping everything. Your Volkswagen may never have needed you to touch it. Keep the key in your pocket, stand behind the car, and make a quick kicking motion under the middle of the rear bumper. Foot in, foot straight back out. Sensors read the movement, confirm your key is close, and the boot opens on its own. Most owners are sure they don't have this, for 3 reasons. It usually has to be switched on in the vehicle settings, and plenty of cars leave the factory with it off. The key has to be on you, pocket, not a bag sitting on the other side of the car. And the movement itself is where nearly everyone goes wrong. It's not a slow wave, and it's not a real kick at the bumper. Quick in and out, roughly under the number plate, then step back so the lid has room to rise. Get it right once, and your hands never touch the car again. Feature number 6, the headlights that bend into the corner. Dark country road, tight bend, and your headlights are doing exactly what they always do, lighting up a hedge while the corner itself stays black. You're steering into a space you can't see yet. Your Volkswagen may already fix that, and most owners have no idea it's happening. Turn the wheel at low and medium speeds, and the beam turns with you, swinging into the corner instead of past it. On many cars, a separate cornering light also fires on the inside of the turn, throwing a wide pool of light exactly where you're about to point the car. Brilliant at junctions, roundabouts, and dark driveways. 2 things stop people from ever seeing it. First, it lives in the lighting settings and is often shipped switched off. Second, it only wakes up under certain conditions, proper darkness, headlights on, and usually below a set speed. Try to test it on a bright evening or at motorway pace and you'll swear the car doesn't have it. Switch it on tonight and drive one familiar dark bend. You'll notice the difference before you finish the corner. Feature number 5, the heated seat that's actually for your back. Most owners treat the heated seat as a winter luxury, something you press for 2 minutes, feel warm, then forget about. It has a second use that's worth far more than the comfort. A long drive stiffens your lower back, the muscles tighten, you shift around, and by the end of it, you're getting out of the car in stages. Steady, low heat across the base, and backrest keeps those muscles loose. Not the highest setting, which just makes you sweat and switch it off. The lowest one, left running quietly for the whole journey. That's the setting almost nobody uses, and it's the one that actually changes how you feel when you arrive. 2 things worth knowing. Many Volkswagens let you set a default heat level in the vehicle settings, so it comes on the way you want it instead of blasting every time. And running the seat is far cheaper on fuel than heating the whole cabin. Warming a person directly always beats warming all that air around them. Low setting, whole journey. Your back will notice long before your wallet does. Feature number 4, the button that takes your foot off the brake. Stop-start traffic. 20 minutes of standing on the brake pedal pedal, right leg lock, creeping forward a car length at a time. Or worse, stopped on a hill, that half-second roll backward while you swap feet with someone parked far too close behind you. There's a small button near your handbrake that ends both of those, and most owners have looked straight past it for years. It's usually marked auto hold. Switch it on once and the car changes how it stops. Come to a halt, lift your foot completely off the brake, and the car stays put, on the flat, on a hill, in traffic, for as long as you like. No rolling, no creeping, no holding the pedal. Touch the accelerator and it releases smoothly and drives away. Two things people get wrong. It's not the handbrake and it's not automatic on every car. It's a setting you turn on, and on many Volkswagens, it needs switching on again each time you start unless you enable it as a default in the vehicle settings. And it only arms properly with your seatbelt fastened and the door shut, so testing it while parked with the door open makes it look broken. One button, your right leg gets the whole commute off. Feature number 3, the screen that shows you your own tire pressure. Everyone waits for the warning light. That's the mistake. By the time that light comes on, a tire has already lost enough air to be wearing badly, drinking fuel, and handling worse than it should, sometimes for weeks before you saw anything. Your Volkswagen has been tracking it the entire time, and there's a screen that shows you the numbers. It's usually in the vehicle or service menu under tire pressure monitoring. Open it and you get a live read on each corner instead of a single warning lamp that only appears once it's already a problem. 30 seconds, once a month, and you catch a slow puncture while it's still just a slow puncture. The part almost nobody does is the reset. That system learns what correct looks like from a reference you set. So after you inflate your tires, or fit new ones, or change to a different set, you go into that menu and store the new values as the baseline. Skip it, and the car is comparing today's pressures against numbers that stopped being true months ago, which is exactly why some owners get warnings that seem to come from nowhere and others get none when they should. Check the screen. Reset after every adjustment. That's the whole habit. Feature number 2, the oil check that isn't under the bonnet. Go and look for your dipstick. On a lot of modern Volkswagens, there isn't one. Owners open the bonnet, hunt around, find nothing, and quietly stop checking their oil altogether, which is how an engine ends up running low for months without anyone noticing. The dipstick didn't disappear, it moved onto your screen. In the vehicle or service menu, there's an oil level reading. It's more accurate than a dipstick because the car measures it electronically and won't give you a number until conditions are right. Check it once a month and you'll know about oil consumption long before it becomes a problem. And oil consumption is one of those things where catching it early is the whole difference between a top-up and a repair bill. Two things to get right. The car needs to be on level ground with the engine warm and switched off for a couple of minutes, or the reading gets rejected or comes back wrong. And when the display tells you to add oil, add a small amount and recheck. Overfilling causes its own damage, and it's far easier to do without a dipstick to look at. The check nobody's doing anymore takes a minute, and it's the one that decides how long your engine lasts. Feature number 1, the menu that remembers everything wrong with your car. Here's the one almost no owner ever finds, and it's the most valuable thing in the car. When a warning light flashes on and then disappears, you assume nothing happened. It did. Your Volkswagen wrote it down. Every fault, every intermittent glitch, every sensor that misbehaved for 2 seconds on a cold morning, stored, whether the light stayed on or not. There's a place in the vehicle or service menu that lets you see part of that history, and on many cars, you can also pull the full picture with an inexpensive scanner plugged into the port under the dashboard. Either way, the point is the same. You stop guessing. Instead of walking into a garage saying, "There's a noise sometimes," you walk in knowing what the car has actually recorded. That changes the conversation completely. It's the difference between paying an hour of diagnostic time for someone to find what your car already knew and being quoted for the one job that genuinely needs doing. It's also how you catch the small stuff. A lazy sensor, an early misfire, while it's still cheap. And this is exactly what you check before buying a used one. The car will tell you what the seller won't. 13 features, all of them already yours. All of them sitting there since the day you drove it home. Pick 2 this week. Go and use them. So that's 13. Windows that open and close from your pocket. A mirror that finds the curb for you. Headlights that bend into the corner. A boot that opens without your hands. An auto hold taking your leg off the brake in traffic. Oil level and tire pressures you can read off a screen in a minute. A key hiding a real metal blade. And a fault memory that knows knows more about your car than any seller will ever tell you. None of it costs a thing. It's already in there. You paid for all of it the day you signed. Pick 2 this week, not 13. 2, and if this helped, subscribe to Volkswagen Hub. Settings, habits, and maintenance tricks that keep a Volkswagen running long past the point most people expect. Then tell me in the comments, which one did you not know your car could do?